All right, I know I've been talking a lot about apartments lately, but there's a lot of people right now who may be looking at moving and moving into apartments or moving out of a house into apartments. I know some people, because I follow them on YouTube, who are actually selling their houses now while the market is high, moving into an apartment so that then they can buy a house when the market goes down. So, for that reason, I've been sharing a lot about apartments. If you don't need this and want to share it with somebody else who could use it, please do so. If not, put in the comments below some topics you'd like to see videos on, and I will get those made as well. But today I want to quickly run through 8 budget considerations for when you move into a new apartment. But this would work for a house too in many respects, except for obviously the first one or first two. Number one, keep in mind you're going to have a security deposit that you're going to have to pay, typically a month's rent. Now, when I was moving out on my own in my late teens and early 20s, we had to pay first and last month's rent. So essentially, the first month's rent was the first month's rent, and the last month's rent was the security deposit. Now they just say a security deposit. Sometimes they have a security deposit that's more than what your actual deposit would be. Your actual rent would be. So, like, if your rent is $500, they may charge $800 if you're a higher risk. The second thing is pet deposits. These existed when I got an apartment back in the 90s, but they are way more expensive. It used to be like $50, and then you paid an extra $20 a month. Now they're like $300 and $400 per pet. So they're pretty substantial. So you need to prepare for that, and you need to find out there are often breed restrictions if you have a dog. And there are certain other restrictions sometimes on the pets as well. Number 3, consider hookup and disconnect fees. So if you're moving from a place where things are getting disconnected, you need to think about that. And if you're hooking things up, you need to think about that. Number 4, moving costs, including fuel. Bless me, sorry. This is being recorded unedited. So moving costs. It is surprising how expensive a moving truck is, but think about the cost of a moving truck if you're using it. Fuel for your vehicle, fuel for anybody else's vehicle. If you're reimbursing friends who are helping you move, their vehicle expenses. Food for friends who come and help you. That's number 5. Or if you're not having friends help you move, if you're paying for a moving service, you're going to have to pay those movers. Number 6, food for you, not only on moving day, but that week or so leading up in that first few days that you're in the new place, because a lot of times your stuff is packed up. Now, if you're really good at planning and things, you might do a really good job about being able to wash up your stuff and dry it and get it packed and all that. But a lot of people get so caught up in the chaos that they forget with plates and dishes and things like that. So at the very least, there's going to be some kind of additional expense to your food, just because it's a little bit harder to make it and pack it efficiently. Number 7, think about furniture, repairs, appliances. We had 2 different daughters who realized that their new place didn't have a microwave, and one of them decided they wanted to buy it. Actually, no, all the girls needed a microwave, but 2 of our daughters lived together for a while, so there was one microwave that they split the cost of. And then when the one moved out to her own place, that place had a microwave, so she just left it behind. The other 2 girls, one bought a microwave, the other one said, I don't really need it. So consider things like that. Can openers. People don't think about that. I remember when I moved into my very first apartment, the very first night that I was there, my mom had helped me move my stuff down, and it was me and my roommate, and we're going through everything. We need to make food, and we realized we do not have a can opener. We do not have meat, milk, eggs, or butter. We had a few canned goods my mom gave me. So I went to the grocery and I spent $35, and I literally freaked out. I called up my mom, this was before texting. This was the early 90s. And I'm like, Mom, I just spent $35 buying chicken, a can opener, and 2 or 3 other things. And she started laughing, and she's like, welcome to adulthood. And that was about the extent of our conversation. But things like can openers, think about that. Funnels, silverware, pots and pans. If you're moving from one place to another, you may remember it or you may have it, but knowing where it's at and having it clearly labeled so you have it that first night is also a consideration. And finally, what did I miss? Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you can think of that you always have to remember that you may have forgotten. Trash bags, paper towels, napkins. Yeah. So those things. Think about that and go through and look these things over. And if you're getting ready to move, keep these things in mind, and I'll see you on the next video.